best build in NBA 2K25. When it comes to making the best build, it's always going to be tough to find the literal best build when the game first comes out. But today we're going to be giving y'all an idea, a theory of what I think is going to be the meta of 2K25. I do this every single year, did it for 24, 23, 22, 21, and I don't really feel like I did a bad job. Today we're going to be doing this video. Y'all do want more. We really haven't seen or heard anything about a demo, a community day, or anything to give us an even further glimpse. I do think that there should be some testing on it, but I'm sure they have some people testing it. I think the more the merrier is better, because we're going to be able to have more people that can find it, and the more time people have to test it, the better. But today we're going to be doing that. We're going to be finding, or pretty much discussing, what I believe is going to be the best build in NBA 2K25. Do want more videos like this? Like the video, subscribe if you're new. Further ado, let's hop into it.
Let's go!
Now, we're not going into this blind. We're going to get into what I deem to be the best build later when we get on 2K24 and kind of try to show you guys a couple different things I would think is going to be good on the game, and a couple of different things I don't think is going to be as good. But let's hop into it. Now, let's look at the builder. Now, when it comes to the builder, they showed us a glimpse of a couple different heights: 6'3", 6'2", 6'1". All of them had different things that was positives and negatives. But one thing I did notice is that it doesn't fluctuate as much when it comes to the driving dunk. It doesn't fluctuate as much when it comes to the ball handle, and it doesn't fluctuate as much when it comes to the defensive ratings. Now, with that being said, now that we kind of understand what a lot of these ratings mean, agility is going to be a very important attribute. So when people was not putting up the acceleration a lot, agility is going to be a attribute I think is going to be upgraded a lot more. Now, if you're a guard and you don't really move off ball, then agility may not be as important, because a lot of guards don't even care about perimeter defense and stuff like that. But I do believe agility is going to be a very important rating, because that's how you're going to be able to move laterally on defense. So going alongside perimeter defense, it's going to be a combination of things that you kind of got to focus on when you're upgrading your build. Now, I do wonder why they don't put lateral quickness back into the builder, but that's neither here nor there. Now, we all know what's going to be important every single year: 3-point shooting ability. Now, what rating do you need to be able to shoot at a high rate? Now, this is where I'm going to say, they have revealed that legend badges, the more legend badges you have, the less balanced your build is going to be able to have. But now, take this build for instance. This build has 3 legend badges. Alongside that, you have an 82 3 ball, an 87 dunk, an 85 layup, and you still have 73, 71 defense, 89 speed with 83 agility, and a 75 vert. And you got to remember, stamina is upgraded now through the Gatorade facility. And that's why you still have an 82 pass accuracy and 98 ball handle and 94 speed of ball. Now, learning that you can make a lot more balanced builds with the less, or just going with less, I guess, legend badges, and knowing that we can literally get legend badges from the +1 or max +1 badge thing that we get every single season for tier 1 and tier 2 badges. And we also get cap breakers, where you can get up to +5 on any attribute, well, as long as it's within the caps of the height, weight, wingspan. So there's a lot of different ways you can even reach those. So in my opinion, seeing that this build has 3 legend badges and it already has all this other stuff outside of the playmaking is very interesting. Now, one thing I will say, when it comes to guard builds, I think the smaller guard builds are going to be meta. I think always height is going to be important, but it may be going back to like 2K22, where small guards were the meta builds, like in general. Like high 3-point rating guard builds were really OD on that game. And if you can have even more balance and variety to those builds, that's gonna be a very, very popular build. Now, I'm thinking tallest is gonna be the best, because you can be 6'3" and have the mini marksman badge. But if you want to go to like 6'1", I'll always say 6'1" is good. But I would say for now, just to be safe, 6'3" is gonna be the best, because that's the tallest you can be to have the mini marksman badge. Now, we don't know how it works. If it works like the old, I guess, I forgot what it's called, but the old shooting badge that was like height differential, is it like 5 inches in difference, or is it just if you're 6'3" and under? We just know if you're 6'3" and under, you can get the badge, but we don't know how it differentiates the height difference. Does it just not matter? We don't know. Now, with that being said, it seems like the caps are a lot different as well throughout the heist. Now, we don't really know what's the caps when it comes to being locks. So if you want to be like a 6'8", 6'7" lock again this year, we don't know how high you can get your agility, because you have to kind of focus on how high you can get your agility. We don't know how high you can get your perimeter defense. We don't know how high you can get your steal, but we can kind of make an assumption that you can pretty much get it pretty high. But just keeping it as a guard, I think the guard meta is going to be pretty much, I believe, to get legendary or legend tier, I guess. I'm going to have to get used to saying that. Legend tier 3 ball or limitless range, you're going to need a 99 3 ball. So with that being said, I think that going 6'3" with like a 94 3 ball and then putting +5 to your cat breaker, I think that's going to be a thing that happens a lot. But you got to also understand, you got to have the right wingspan to go alongside that, because this build has a 6'9" wingspan. You see the 3 ball, it only goes up to an 82, or it doesn't go up to an 82, but it doesn't go up to 99. So you got to make sure that you get the wingspan right if you're going to go that route as well. So you can try to do that, but at the same time, is it going to be worth sacrificing that wingspan? I think on smaller guard builds it is, but we don't know how balanced these builds are going to be able to be. So say for instance, if you can make like a build that can get Hall of Fame through the cat breaker, but you can't but you can also, instead of going legend, you can just get more wingspan on your build. I think some people going to do that as well. So it is going to come down to the perfect balance. All right, so hopping into it, when it comes to making the builds, going over from 2K24 to 2K25, we're going to try to make these builds guard, lock, and big going into 2K25 and 2K24. Now, obviously, it's not going to be an exact copy because the weight, the wingspan is not going to be exact. When it comes to how ratings affect other ratings, it's not going to be exact. They said that they nerfed that a lot. So just keep that in mind. But we're going to try to make it as close and eerily similar as we possibly can. So we got 6 foot, 6'2". Let's go ahead and hop into it. Now, the reason why we did go 6 foot, 6'2" is because 6 foot allows you to not only have the 99 ball handle, but the 99 3-point potential. You got to understand, when it comes to the cat breaker, it is only going to be able to go up 5, whichever is within your build's height, weight, wingspans potential. So if you have a build that only goes up to 97 ball handle, it's not going to be able to go up to 99 with cat breaker, only up to 97. So you want to understand that. So that is why I ended up going 6 foot, 6'2" wingspan. But whatever is the tallest that can be able to have both of those is probably going to be the more meta build. But let's hop into it. And by the way, you only need 94 speed with ball to have legend, lightning, whatever. So keep that in mind. So when it comes to the speed of ball, you're going to unlock, and with cat breakers, you don't just unlock badges, you also unlock animations. So that's a very important thing. Now, we do know they do tend to try to go for like 95 speed of ball, 95 ball handle for like the peak animations, and 92 3 ball for like the peak jump shot animations. So you gotta keep that in mind. But that's not gonna be too big of a focus for the speed of ball, but more so for the ball handle, because I don't think they've ever done that. But I'm gonna try to just be 4 off here, and I'm gonna try to be 4 off here. So we're gonna go 94 3-point, we're gonna go 94 ball handle. Now with that too, we're gonna use our other, we get 15 total cat breakers. You can go up to +5. So that's just what that is. And we're at 84 already. So, and you gotta understand, it's gonna affect it a lot less on 2K25. So keep that in mind. Now, here, if I did wanna just go to 94, I could, but I'm not even gonna do that. I'm gonna just go 89 for just idea preferences, because you only really don't need like a 94. If you go for 95, it should be a speed with ball or a dribble style that's gonna be worth it. We haven't really seen that happen in any of the 2Ks that's been speed with ball and dribble styles connected. So I'm not gonna start doing it here. Simple as that. Now, pass accuracy is gonna be a lot easier to get up on 2K25. We just gonna put this up to like an 80 for now for video purposes, but I would probably get that higher, trying to get like higher dimer and stuff like that. But for now, that's what we're gonna do. Drive and dunk. We can actually get our drive and dunk up. We got an 87 drive and dunk. Now, things that we don't really get to maximize as much as we would on 2K25 defense, because 2K25's builder is just a lot less limited as the 2K24 builder. They said that it's just in general a lot less limited, but as well when you come to thinking about smaller guards, they get a lot more attributes the smaller you go. So even with me saying earlier 6'3" are gonna have all this, that, and the third, because a lot more people are going to go for it because it's the tallest that can get mini marksman. Don't forget about the fact that the shorter you go, the better it is going to be for your attributes. But another thing that's also important to think about, the shorter you go, the harder it is going to be able to play defense. So those are two things you got to think about as well. Yeah. Now, I'm going to just focus more so on the physicals for now. Speed, everything else is already put the speed ball, the ball handle, the three-pointer. We already know that's going to be my cap breakers. Everything else is going to have to try to just be put up as high as possible. So speed, I don't really know. I'm going to just put it to the 90 threshold. For this year, it was 90 speed for hyperdrive, and it was 92 speed, yeah, for Hall of Fame speed booster. From what I saw, the speed booster badge on there is only connected to speed ball from what I've seen. So I'm not even really too focused on getting speed too much higher than that. Now, acceleration is not in the game anymore. That is now connected to, or it's now agility, but it doesn't even work like acceleration. The entire acceleration attribute is just out the game. Agility is pretty much moving off the ball offensively and your movement defensively laterally. So I do think that is important. Strength, not as important for a small guard, I will say. And then vertical, you're gonna need this for like contact dunks, so we'll just raise this to an 80 just to say that we rails it and stuff like that. But I think we're gonna try to get this up. And another thing that's not on there is stamina. Now, obviously, I'm gonna put some more defense. I'm gonna put some more things, but this is just to show you guys how much limited 2K24 is compared to 2K25. But just keep this in mind. This is the things that I'm gonna be trying to do, focusing on like ball handle being 5 off, speed ball being 5 off, 3 ball being 5 off, until we know how hard it is to get cap breakers. Now, if it's very hard to get cap breakers, then it's gonna be a lot more difficult to make the decision on these builds, because maybe there's an easy way to get 5, but it's really hard to get that next 5, and then it's really hard to get that last 5. I wouldn't be surprised to get one of those, like to get some of those is gonna be really, really high in the rep. So we'll see. Maybe you to even get cap breakers, you gotta be at the top rep. So we don't know. But yeah, that's just what it is for now. Are the legend badges worth it, or are they not? Now, I don't think they're gonna be worth it off rip. Well, people gonna test it, I think, off rip, but I don't think they're gonna be worth it to do off rip. So what I think people gonna do is they're gonna go for more Hall of Fame badges, more gold, more silver, because people love they do it all builds. But until we know for a fact that the legend badges are gonna be broken, like, because I don't really see a way they're gonna be really usable unless it's like you're getting 1 per build. Now, this build has 3, like I said, so that's very interesting to me. And it's still only at a 98, so you can get more on it. But until we know what we need to get contact dunks, until we know the exact things we need to get certain badges, it's kind of tough to speak on it. So I do think the playmaking, the shooting, the dunking is going to always be there with a little bit of defense, but you got to be able to find a way to balance it out on the athleticism. Now, locks. I do think locks are going to be good again this year, but with the smaller guards coming back, I think the locks are going to need a little bit more speed than they had this year. So if you're going to try to get more speed, I think you're going to have to balance that out on the agility and the strength, because strength seems like it's going to be important again this year. And I know it's people that don't think strength was important this year, but we can just agree to disagree. But I think if you are going to take that hit on strength, you can kind of go for a shorter lock this year, and I think a lot of people are going to do that. Now, on the locks this year, I think they're going to be a little bit more versatile as well, just like the guards. Now, when you do go shorter, they have said the shorter you go, the more attribute points you get. So I think that's going to also go in play with locks. Now, as long as you have max wingspan, I think locks are going to be chilling, but I do think sharp locks are going to make a huge comeback this year. When I'm saying sharp locks, I'm meaning real sharp locks, like, because locks at the end of the day don't really need playmaking, but if you want to be an ISO lock, you can do that. If you want to be a sharp lock, you can do that. So it really depends on what your play style gonna be. What are you playing? If you're playing 5v5, I think sharp locks. If you're playing park, maybe more so an ISO lock, a guy that can create for himself and lock down. So that really does depend on what you're making. Moving on into like the locks, we're just gonna make it a small forward. 6'7" was the meta this year. I may go as low as 6'5" because I think locks this year is gonna be more so locks. Like, you're not gonna be making locks this year to try to go up against bigs as much as you did this year. Like this year, you could put a lock at big and you be straight sometimes. I don't think that's gonna be as likely. So I think 6'5" or 6'6" is gonna be the better height. I'm gonna do 6'5" for video purposes because, like they said, the shorter you go, the more attributes you do get. So that's just what that is. Now, for video purposes, I guess I'll make it a 6'7" because I do know that 6'7s get more attributes, or really 6'6", I guess. But yeah, we'll do it at 6'6" for video purposes. So 6'6". Wingspan, we're always gonna go max on a lock. Weight is gonna really be determining factor. On this game, I did think having weight up to be able to have like 90 strength was important, but as you can see, it's kind of tough to do that on this game while having everything else that you really want. But we're gonna do it like this. Now, we're gonna clear everything. Since we did go 90 strength, we kind of already know that what we're gonna try to have. This is another thing. Your cap breakers are gonna be different across your different builds. So it may be shooting, ball handle, speed with ball on a guard build. But say for instance, if you make a lock and you don't put no ball handle or speed with ball, you're not gonna be putting those on there. You may still do it for 3 ball. So say for instance, I get 84 on this build, I'm gonna just go 79. You know what I'm saying? Simple as that. And when it comes to the steal and block, that's probably what I would do. Cause I would want this to be as high as possible. But for the back end, 99 steal, I would probably go 94. It's probably gonna be a higher block that you can get on your lock next year. But if it's still low again like this, if your block potential on a 6'6" is still low like this, I would actually still say 6'7", 6'8" are probably still gonna be more utilized than 6'6". That's just me making that's not even a bold take. I just think that's gonna be a fact. But I would do the 5 off at the steal, block, and 3 ball on my lock. That's just what I'll say first and foremost. Now, for perimeter defense, we just gonna put this as high as possible, I guess, because you know what I'm saying. Why not? We got acceleration as high as possible, just because that's supposed to signify the agility. We're not gonna touch the vertical, or not the vertical, the stamina. We're gonna put our vertical high too as well. We're gonna put our speed high as well, and we're gonna go like 90 here. We're gonna go 90 here. And then for the dunk, we're gonna raise this dunk up. We're gonna go to like an 86. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like locks gonna even have more than this. Like, they're gonna have more drive and dunk. I think they're gonna have more rebound. So this is just me doing stuff fast. Really just trying to show you guys more so what I think is gonna be happening on a lot of these builds. But I ain't gonna lie, I wouldn't be surprised if builds like this are getting made. But the thing is, it's a couple of different things that I think are important that you kind of have to have on your lock. So let me show you guys real quick. I think having pass accuracy is going to be important. So yeah, you want to have your 5 off. Yeah, you want to have your 5 off. Yeah, you want to have your 5 off. But I think that pass accuracy is going to be important. So maybe we got to lower this just for video purposes to like a 94. But yeah, just having that is going to be very, very important. It's always going to be important. Now, to go back to the driving dunk, to put this back up, now you can get 91 because I guess we like lowered the interior or perimeter defense a little bit. But we don't know how all these badges are going to be connected. Like, we don't know exactly what we're going to need to be able to have the block badges. And you know they don't have anchor, chase down artist. Those two have been replaced with better badges that make more sense, in my opinion, for what these 2 badges really should have been. But we'll get into that another time. But yeah, you're going to want to try to get that new badge for that's anchor, and you're going to want to try to get that new badge that's pretty much chase down artist, but it's in a lot more situations than just chase down artists. But yeah, I'm just trying to show you guys that I would do 5 off the steal, 5 off the block, 5 off the max for 3 ball, just so that you can be able to get that cap breaker later on. Now, if it is hard to get the cap breaker, let me say it again, you're not going to do that. But that's just for video purposes. Now, Biggs is interesting because they gave rebounding its own little category where like there are 2 purples outside of the red defensive attributes. So I find that very interesting. Now, they still pretty much have just rebound chaser, and then you still got brick wall. They kind of nerfed it a little bit, but it's still going to be very, very important and very good for Biggs. But all in all, I thought Biggs last year, they kind of got did dirty in a couple ways. I think they're going to be even better this year with there being more like balance to the builds. Now, I think the people that's going to get hit the most with this new route are the bigs. But if you make it right, I think the bigs are going to be able to do the cat breaker thing off the rip. But it's also going to be those people that just go 99 rebound so they can have their legend badge for rebound chaser off the rip. Now, I think these big man builds gonna be crazy. I think it's gonna be some builds that have like, so since you only need +5, so I'm pretty sure to get Hall of Fame Rebound Chaser, or not Hall of Fame Legend, I gotta get used to that. You only need a 90, or you're not gonna be only. You need a 99. So I think what people gonna do is either go 94 on one of the defensive rebound or one of the rebound ratings, and then go 94 on the block, or just 5 off, whatever it takes to get the max for both blocking badges, and then 5 off of the rebound for the rebound chaser badge. So I think that's gonna be important. Make sure that you can get your brick wall. I think more bigs this year are gonna be able to shoot than they was last year. Even though it was a lot of bigs, but I think some people are just gonna go taller. But at the same time, they kind of did say that some of these badges is kind of tougher to get at a higher level. Now, I will say, if they still brought back the little guard swings and bigs only get normal speed, then I'm gonna be honest, I don't see bigs being like the 6'10" and ups being that crazy for shooting bigs still. So maybe 6'8" bigs was like the versatile shooting bigs last year, but maybe it goes up to 6'9", so like it was on 2K23. I don't know, but I will say I do think the shorter, the better for locks is gonna be the thing. Bigs is interesting because it did say the better, or the height difference is a big factor in the shot contest, not just your positioning. But positioning is also a huge impact. And ratings. They said ratings was also a huge impact. So I wonder if you can really make up for that one factor with the other two. So if that one factor can get made up by the other two, then yeah, it's gonna be even more and less. It's gonna be even less important to make bigs, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's just what I'll say. And if you are making it inside, obviously you would probably go taller, because at that point, like, you're just trying to take advantage of the size advantage. And they also did kind of preview that you can have a 65 speed ball on a 7 foot. Now, like I said, let's get into the game and try to make these builds that I think are going to be the best builds in the game. When it comes to making the big man version, now big men, if it is still like this, where you have the small guard, or not the small guard, where you have the guard, oh yeah, the small guard, the swing, and then the big, where bigs are 6'10" and up. I personally think if they still have bigs only be able to have normal jump shot timing, and they have the by far worst bases in the game, by far worst releases in the game, I still think the shooting bigs are still gonna go to 6'9", because again, the shorter you are, the more balanced your build's gonna be able to be. That's what they said themselves. So you got to keep that in mind. So I think that's still going to be important. But I do think 6'9s are going to be better than 6'8s on this game, because I do think more insides are going to make those super taller builds, because I do think that the shot contest on those taller builds are going to be harder than ever, based off just how they was describing post work. So that's what I'll say. You're going to go max wingspan. Simple as that. Now, the weight is an interesting thing to me, because being honest, I do think your 3 ball is going to be important. Your rebound is going to be important. Your block is going to be important. But your vert and your strength are very important for bigs too. But I'm gonna just go 90 for now to be able to reach that threshold, and just in case that is a movement enforcer again. So we can go 6'9", 233, 7'7". So we're gonna reset the build again. We're gonna go strength first. Speed, we're gonna go here. Acceleration is now like your lateral quickness, so we're gonna be maxing that out as well. We're gonna go 90 vertical. Then we're going to go up on our stamina. Now, when it comes to the defensive rebound and the block, you get 99 block, you get 99 defensive rebound. So since you can do that, I'm going to actually go 94. And since you can't go 97. Nah. We got to have the 99 defensive rebound. Yeah, we have to be able to have that. So we got to change that. But yeah, we're going to be able to go there, and we're going to go 94. So with that being said, so we're going to put our +5 to defensive rebound, our +5 to block, and then we will put our last 5 on the 3 ball. So I don't know if people gonna want to do that. 72 3 ball. I don't know if people gonna want to do that, but that's probably what I would do. I ain't gonna lie. I'll probably just have to, and then I ain't gonna lie, you would have to get your jump shots. That's gonna be kind of tough. 72 3 ball. I don't know, but it does seem like they have the. You probably just gotta play on the low. What's it called? But I don't know. We haven't got our hands on to see how easy it is to shoot. Mike Wang definitely said it's gonna be. You're gonna be able to shoot if you're good at shooting. You're gonna be able to shoot with these lower ratings. But I'm gonna be honest. Or no, he said it's gonna be harder to shoot with these lower ratings. I said that wrong. But with that being said, they say that every year, so I don't know. So that's what I'll leave there. We're going to go pretty solid on the steel. We actually cannot get the steel to 91. So maybe I'm just going to signify that's what I'm doing. I'm going to go 90 here. And then I'm going to go solid here. Now here we got to have a solid little pass accuracy personally. So maybe we don't go crazy on the steal. Maybe we don't go crazy on the offensive rebound. We still try to get this up. Maybe we go like 85. Then we go 75. And at the end, we just try to get our driving dunk as much as possible, which is going to just stay at a 75 and then go standard dunk. Now, if we're at this point, you got to just understand, I'm not trying to make the builds perfectly made 2K24. I'm just trying to give you a glimpse of all the things I'm going to be upgrading first when it comes to making my builds on the 2K25. So when it comes to make my big man, I think that the 3-ball is going to be higher than this. But I don't know when it comes to making a max wingspan build. Because like I said, when it came to making the small guard builds, it does seem like wingspan does affect your 3-ball rating more on 2K25 than it does on 2K24. So we may even have a lower max 3-ball on a 6'9" with max wingspan. I don't know, but we don't know that right now. That's what I'll say. I do think you want to make a big man with max wingspan, but maybe you can't do that this year if you're trying to make a shooting big man, because you're just going to lose too much. That's something that you got to understand and consider. But there are positives to doing lower wingspan, like you'll get strength easier, stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But my main thing I'm trying to get y'all across to y'all, I'm gonna probably be going 5 off my 3-ball, 5 off my block, 5 off my defensive rebound, and then I'm just trying to make everything else fit within that idea. So I want to have my 90 threshold strength. I want to have my 90 threshold vertical. Really strength, more so I can get like badges like box out beast, a moving enforcer, brick wall, post lockdown. I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna try to have my interior defense pretty solid on this game, because I'm pretty sure interior defense is literally paint contest. I'm pretty sure they've already shown that and said that to us, that is literally paint contest. So now that I know that, I'm gonna be trying to upgrade that. In perimeter defense, similar thing, but for the perimeter contest. Now, I'm kind of trying to figure out how some of these badges gonna work. Are some of these badges gonna be tied directly to interior defense? Because I know anchor was tied to interior defense and block, but that other badge seemed like that could be tied to speed, block, and interior defense. So we'll see. Some of this stuff we don't know 100%, but what I'm really trying to get y'all across to y'all, when it comes to make my big man build, I'm gonna have a build that can pass, shoot, stick defense. Really, the defense is gonna be the main thing. Shooting's gonna be secondary. Finishing's gonna be third. And whatever I can get on the playmaking outside of passing is gonna be utmost importance. So that's gonna be my builds. I ain't gonna lie, making on 2K24, the build's not gonna look the greatest, but the theory and the idea is what you gotta kind of look into and look and understand. But yeah, y'all do want more of these build videos come 2K25. Y'all know how I get down early in the year. I'm probably gonna do the stream as soon as the game came out. I found a lot of the best builds as soon as the game came out, like before people even had the game, so people didn't have to do too much. Like, it just is what it is. But this is just a theory. You gotta understand, with all these builds that I just showcased, I did this fast, but I really was just trying to give you guys my idea of how I think the build is gonna work and what's gonna be the best builds pretty much in 2K25. If you do want more, like, subscribe, all that good stuff out the way. Without further ado, man, it's your boy Fitz. I'm out of here, man.
All of my friends are dead. Leave them in the cold, put them in the tundra. I go Ray Charles, second I see her, I make her fumble. I was just a Texas with Aaliyah, pussy in the jungle.
Tell them to bring me my money. Yeah!